Hey Facebook and YouTubers, it's me, Kaylani, with another video you can like and share. And today I'm going to do a video about what a man should be or what he should do before actually dating you. Like, what are the prerequisites, if you will. Someone was saying on their video, like, it would be a good thing if, people knew what the prerequisites are before dating you, things like that. So I did a little bit of soul searching, and I was like, okay, what does he have to hide, right? And it has to have him in his heart. I know everybody doesn't go to church all the time. I don't go to church all the time. I try to go like twice a month and actually rush from home the other times, because I do plan on going to Hollywood one day, and I don't think that I'm going to be going to church every Sunday. But that's neither here nor there. I want them to be able to quote a couple Bible verses, tell me what their favorite Bible story is and things like that. And so that I know he knows God, and like, what does he value about God? What is his idea? What is his religion? I do have to be equally yoked because I am actually a Christian, and I need someone to be Christian. And I'm non-denominational, so I don't get stuck into the religious things, the rituals, if you will. But I go by the Bible and the true word. So, living true word. So, all right, that's the first thing. And secondly, he has to have some type of income or be working on it. Know his purpose in life, because when you live in your purpose, you're much happier. He has to have transportation, because I'm not going to be a taxi cab. And I think that just comes with it. Like, when you have stuff to offer, you expect that that person has something. Must be courageous enough to approach me as well. Or, before we date, he would actually have to ask me out on a date and stuff like that. Must be respectful. So one thing I look at is how he treats the women in his life. Either the mother of his child or his mother, not wife. Hopefully not. No, I'm not trying to date anybody just married, willingly. But I know some guys lie about that, and that's not cool. Like, if you want to commit adultery, make sure the other person knows that they're going to be committing adultery with you, so they can sign up for it or not. It's unfair to be married and like not disclose that. Is a great sin, and it tears up families, and people get killed over that type of stuff. So, just be real serious about it. That's a true thing. And people get upset when you try to steal their man. Even if they have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, I wouldn't talk to them, because, that's how people get killed. Plain and simple. And I wouldn't kill anybody over it, because I've definitely gotten cheated on in some of the worst ways. But I think it's important. I'm looking over here because I got a list of things. I can't just sit and remember all these, but I want to get them in. I don't want this video to be too long. And he must know that women are emotional and not get upset and be abusive. He can't be abusive, because women, use their mouth, men use their muscles. And sometimes, like, when we want to get a point across, we talk quite a bit. But I do know that that's an issue with women, so I try to curb my emotions and reality of life and things like that instead of being so emotional. So I'm trying to make this quick, because I don't know if I've never done a YouTube live. I don't think so. I'm not going to get anybody coming in. I know more on Facebook. But anyways, he must also know the male roles and female roles, so that we don't get them mixed up. Like, if he needs, male role is like to provide and protect and things like that. And usually lawn work, but I don't mind helping with the lawn. I think that's fun to help out. And as well as like, if I'm sick, then I can take over for him and help him with his roles. But if, I need to clean up, if I know cleaning, making sure the house is clean and keeping food on the table and things like that and taking care of the kids are my role, then if he wants to help out, that's cool. But if he's sick and can't do it, and want to do it, at the end of the day, those are my roles to take care of and things like that. So, all right. So, actually, I think not be too controlling as well. Like I was saying with the abuse thing, you could be the head of the household and everything, and I'm going to be submissive if you're submissive unto God. So that's why I always make sure that the person is correct before actually making them my husband, because I need to be able to follow you. When you say, hey, do this, I need to be submissive. I don't want to have to fight with being submissive, because as a female, you have to be submissive to your husband. So if he's not going in the right direction, how can you follow him? And that's why a lot of families are disrupted and there's a high divorce rate, because, you know, everybody's got their roles mixed up. And I think that's very important and something that we don't talk about very often. And he must use protection. You know, when we're first getting to know each other, like, protection is going to be a big thing for me. And until we know we have a monogamous relationship and I can trust you, you can trust me. Because let's be honest, in the beginning of a relationship, you know, you're starting with a clean slate, but, you know, you haven't really built that trust up yet. So once you feel like you can trust each other and, you know, everything, then that's different. He must know that I'm a queen and he's a king. So you must carry yourself in such a manner that when you go places, you walk with your head high. You know, you are polite to people. You know your worth, so someone else will be happy to be with you. And also for me, one of the things is I would like for my man to work out with me. We don't have to work out together all the time, but if we set like Saturdays, we go in the morning or whatever, and he can do what he's doing, I'm doing what I'm doing, so we're not interrupting each other's workout, you know, and then come take a break or whatever and kick it and have fun. He must be romantic. I'm a Pisces, so I'm very romantic, spontaneous. I do a lot of stuff that probably other women really don't do, just to keep man happy if I have a man. So and I stuff like that and do things that like other guys won't do, and actions speak louder than words. So I'm going to be looking for action rather than just I love you every day. Anybody can say I love you. I was totally abused and the guy said he loved me to the moon and back and always said it and I felt good about it. But then for some reason, just one day he got very abusive. Kind of like that movie it was called Until Death Do Us Part that they just came out with. It's kind of like that. Like he's so charming at first and then all of a sudden pops. But I think that's why alcohol is a big thing for me. I don't want anybody that drinks a lot of alcohol or does drugs or anything because it alters your mind. So and also marijuana, like everybody's cool with marijuana. Like, yeah, you can smoke it or whatever. But the thing is, when you smoke it, it makes you kind of lazy and laid back and you can't really function and do the things that you need to do on a regular basis, you know. So I think lavender tea would be a good alternative to marijuana. Try it if that's your little he must be educated. I'm not saying he has to have a master's degree or anything like that, but gain knowledge out of everyday life and research, you know, be knowledgeable. And I think it speaks volumes when somebody actually finishes college, because it says that you can commit to something, you know, great and, you know, make it. Be a bro-American. I came with this term, instead of being called blacks or African-American or whatever, bro-Americans can be black Americans, mixed Americans, that are mixed with black, and then also the ones that are dark-skinned, basically people. I call them bro-Americans, and I say brother instead of the N-word now. So I think it's a good substitution for me, and I hope other people do use it too. Call each other brothers and sisters instead of the N-word. It just motivates. I think it would motivate us more if we stop calling each other the N-word. Not because, you know, I understand it's a word that, you know, we took over and it was great because we turned something negative into a positive. You know, the word N-word was something negative that people called us, but when we made it something good, you know, and everybody's okay with saying it. But let's be serious right now. When people call you that, people get offended. So why do we want to keep offending anybody, any race, with the word? If we can be motivated by calling each other bro-American, something that's positive, let's leave that word in the past. That was during slavery. Let's not say it again. Let's not encourage that, you know, that we be called something that was used in the slave days. Like, how are we proud of that? That's how I feel about that. Because I used to be the one too, like, I want to say the N-word because, you know, we have a right to say it because we can't return into positive thing. But, you know, it's really not motivating you, and all this have a good tune to it and they're just yelling, and, you know, it's just not motivating me. So I usually listen to like 92.3 or 955 out here in Detroit, Michigan area, because it's just more appropriate and more motivational to me. I mean, some of the songs that come on the radio, I'm like, who authorized this song to be on the radio? It has no musical uh benefit, is not, doesn't sound good. They can't sing. Rappers trying to sing and can't sing. Like, stay in your lane. If you rap. Just no. All right. But anyway, he must know that I'm a queen and he is a king as well. So there can't be any, like jealousy, or jealous of me because I'm doing this, or I'm jealous of him because he's doing that. We had to work it together. We can't. And love me like he loves his mom. I like to look at how they treat the women in their life, even like if they have a mother of their children that they're not with anymore. And so or baby mama, whatever you want to call it. I try not to say baby mama because I think it dumbs it down and puts disrespect on the mother of your children, or father. The baby daddy thing doesn't work for me. The father of your child. This is important to me. So anyway, he must be romantic and spontaneous because I'm very romantic and spontaneous, and I like to do different things. I don't like to just do the everyday norm, what you figure, but I do like flowers. I love flowers. I love daylilies and roses, and the money to get it, you should get it. If you didn't have the money, I would be okay with one rose or half a dozen roses. But this guy I was dating, seemed to be cool at first, but he had a good job and didn't buy me like a whole dozen roses. Like, what are you doing? You got a half dozen roses and you work so much and you're doing all this work, and where are you? Where's the money? No, but I'm like, so I left that situation alone. I'm not going to get into that and I'm not throwing, shame or anything on anybody. I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. I'm not going to say which boyfriend it was that did that either. It could have been years and years ago. I'm not going to tell you because several of them act cheap. So anyway, so spend time with me. That's important. When you're not working. And I think Derek did a good video on that. It's like, spending time with you is very important. Like, if stuff like that, that's not really cool. Like, if you really love somebody, then you should make time for them. I've always said that in myself too. You got to spend time, and it's okay if someone has bamboozled you and they were cool in the beginning and they just turned different or whatever, for whatever reason. Maybe you did something, or because I know I have done something, but we were broke up, and my last boyfriend thought that like that was inappropriate. We were broke up. Like, if, like they say, if you're not crapping, get off the pot type thing. Like, okay, if we're not officially together, don't be mad if I go out with somebody, because, like Beyonce says, put a ring on it. Like, if you want somebody to be your girlfriend and be monogamous and all that and not date anybody, do what you're supposed to do so they won't do that. Do what you got to do to keep them and, impress them, because you got to know, you can't give gifts that you would like. You have to give a gift that that person would like, and that comes with just speaking to them. And another thing is, if they can't do the mentally stimulate game, for a while, and they just want to stop after the first, they might be an F-boy, and if they're scared to watch a Derek Jackson video, that means they're doing something wrong. Because if they were doing something right, they would be cool with watching the Derek Jackson videos and my videos too, because I know I cut into people sometimes, men and women, and there's a lot of people that like that, and they look at it as a stepping stone or some improvements that they can make. And I think that's the right way to look at it. Everything's not going to apply to you, and I'm not talking about a specific person or anything, unless if I am, I'll say it, if I'm talking to someone, specific or whatever. But let's see. He must love me like Christ loves the church, because that's biblical. And it also, after I get married, I will treat my husband like God, because it says that in the Bible as well. So if you put God first, you're not putting the man before God. And you treat your husband like God, like meaning you respect him with the same respect that you respect God. And, you don't do things that would hurt him. You support him, like Barack and Michelle, Also, I want him to listen to me as much as I listen to him. I will listen to him more because I'm supposed to be submissive to my man, which is why I date up. Like, I don't want somebody that's exactly on my same level. I want somebody that can treat me well and teach me something new, as well as I can teach him something. So we're like, gotta be kind of on the same level, but I like to date guys that know more than me, because I know a lot, but like to date somebody that like knows a little bit more, I think is intriguing. Like, one is let me see, let me choose one that's just for me. Let me see. Oh yeah, of course, non-smoker, drink wine and champagne only, and maybe occasional beer, or maybe we'll get a mixed drink if we go out or something, but not like regularly. Must be courageous. Yeah, must be courageous enough to ask me out and stuff. Not living with a woman, you know, because I had this situation. I'm not going to say when or who it was, but the guy was actually living with a friend because he didn't have anywhere to stay. But you know, I don't think there's any excuse. Like, if you're gonna date somebody and have a friend that you're staying with, if you do have to live with a female, have a female roommate, I better be able to come over and meet with this lady. She better know who. But still, I don't, and that wasn't the situation when we first started talking. It was something that developed. So, you know, it wasn't like I said, oh, it's okay, I'll date you when you live with someone. It was like something that happened during when we were first dating or whatever. So anyways, steer away from those situations and having too many female friends, because they will jump ship, and then I gotta spend time with those female friends. And I think they should be acquaintances. I don't know what my hair is doing. It must be like rubbing on my neck. Maybe a good thing because it's getting longer. Trying to grow it, whatever. Anyway, so that's like the main things. And have a sense of humor. That's very important to me. Like, you got to be educated and smart, but then you also have to have like a sense of humor. So that's very important to me. Those are my prerequisites. Romance is big. I'm gonna double tap on that. Romance is like a big thing, because I want like if a guy is to propose to me, I don't want him to be like, oh, blah blah blah, here's a ring. Like, make like an effort to make it, you know, interest. It's a big time in your life. Like, you're gonna get married. Why wouldn't you make it something that was romantic? I mean, not just for the woman, but that you would feel good about yourself. That like, I proposed to her like this or whatever, you know. So anyway, and actions speak louder than words. So someone can say I love you all the time, but what are they actually doing? What do their actions say? Do they say they love you, or they say it and they spend time with you when they feel like it? So definitely, and you know, do things together, and that's important to me. Like, I think if you make chores around the house fun, where you can do them together, or yard work, I think that's very good for a relationship. And communication is key. You're gonna not agree on everything, but you know, at least be able to talk it out, you know, and don't leave. Like, if you got a bad situation or bad conversation that you had a disagreement on, nobody's walking out the door huffing and puffing and the other person's thinking about where they're at. Okay, go in the other room, cool down, you know, go about your regular day and table it for a later time. Like, okay, you go think, I'll think. Let's table this for an hour from now and then come back and discuss it when we're not as angry. So I think that's a very key point. And you know that my things that are important in a relationship is trust, love, respect, honesty, and communication. It was about 19 minutes long, so I'm going to get off. But those are like kind of my prerequisites. Maybe I'll do a Q&A one other day. I don't know. But that's mainly me, you know. And I think that before you go on a date, you should just do a background check. I know that sounds crazy, but I think that's important to do, like a background check, because you never know what somebody's into, what they've done. And then you can have a conversation around it. Don't just assume that, you know, because they did this, they're a bad person or whatever. Some people pay their debts to society and come out being preachers and all that. So anyways, that's on prerequisites for men, what you should know before dating. All right. See you, everybody. Love you. Bye. Hopefully I can turn this thing off. I don't know how to turn this live video off. Don't laugh at me, y'all. This is my first time. Okay. Let's see. There is no button on here to end this video. Funny. Huh. Let me hit the X. All right. Bye.